Are you prepared?
Oh, constantly.
Is your body ready for this not mystery?
Always. Well, it's kind of a mystery.
Is it?
In certain definitions of the word.
I mean, technically speaking,
it's a mystery.
It may be a mystery in that something was not known and then it was known.
It's a giant, it's a big bummer. You like bummers?
Well, we've already had a bunch of bummers. Why do we need more bummers?
Well, evidently we gotta have one more.
Is this show just all about bummers now? Is that how it goes?
It's bummers all the way down. Bummers all the way down.
Hey everyone, welcome to Aniki, the podcast about anime's two brothers. I'm Ben.
And I'm bad at Overwatch, I guess.
You are.
I like to stay as a group. Everybody assumes that you shouldn't stay in a group.
Speaking of splitting the group.
Yeah.
This week on Hyouka, we split the group.
We do split the group, you are right.
So we split the group in the best way.
Yes. Well, not
in
quite.
Fact, that's the
Satoshi and Ibarra don't go off on their own. They do, but separately instead of together, which would have been the best way to split the group.
Take what we can get, I guess. So why don't you catch us up on the old Bunkasai?
It's over.
It's over!
We don't have to.
Good catch up.
Now. They sold all their issues.
Now that all the issues have been resolved, and all the lingering self-doubts and deep personal flaws have been exposed.
Yeah, it's fall now. Now it's fall.
Yep.
It's fall.
The leaves are changing, as are their hearts.
If by leaves you mean leaves of a book, because Oreki is just reading his light novels again.
He's trying. He's really trying.
And we're having a discussion about mushrooms that is not euphemisms.
It isn't. Oreki and Cactus are busy listening to Chitanda talk about playing music to her mushrooms to make them grow bigger.
Man, that really, when you put it like that, it may have been a euphemism.
And Ibarra is very intrigued.
Well, I mean...
Tell me more. So, hoping to add to this weird conversation, Satoshi has some facts. Well, he makes up some facts. Something about running electricity through the mushrooms would make them grow better.
Then we get a helicopter. I like helicopters.
Light piano and helicopters. And if I heard both those outside my window, I too would go to look.
Yeah, well, Satoshi does. Helicopters are big news. Important business. So important, we're going to spend this whole episode to figure out why Oreki had a middle school teacher that liked helicopters.
So buckle your seatbelts.
Woohoo!
Here we go.
We're on for a ride. Because Oreki remembers a middle school teacher, Ogi-sensei, liked helicopters. Isn't that nice?
And we get the up.
Were you ready for helicopters? After like 16 episodes of the Bunkasai, were you ready for what comes next?
After that whirlwind of a mystery that was the Bunkasai, I am now here for the whirlybird that is the helicopters. And then we get the title, which is, Are the Mountains Sunny? Subtitle, Does Ogi-san like helicopters?
Does Ogi-san like helicopters?
It's a good question. In fact, that's the question. It's the only question. Well, we're gonna get a bigger question here in a minute.
Yeah. I hope it's the question that I have written down in my notes, because Oreki explains Ogi liked helicopters because remember, two others in this group were in the same middle school as Oreki, both Satoshi and Ibarra.
Yep, Chitanda's the odd one out.
Yeah, Chitanda is always the odd one out because she is the odd one out. But he's like, yeah, you remember Ogi-sensei? He liked helicopters, and everybody's like, huh? Satoshi's is like, bleh? Ibarra's like, eh.
I remember him, but I don't remember the helicopter thing.
And Oreki says to himself, how could I know, but no one else?
Surely, he is not fallible, right?
Well, it's more the fact that his entire character is, he knows things that nobody else knows.
That's true, except in this case.
That's what it is all the time.
Oreki's like, okay, well, clearly this is weird. So, Ibarra, you were in all my classes, right? Don't you remember helicopters flying over the school and Ogi-san flipping out about it? She's like, yeah, that the helicopters happened a lot.
Yeah. But I don't remember Ogi, flipping out about it. And Satoshi even pops up with his database. He's like, yeah, the one time the whole, JSDF flew over our school in formation, and Ogi didn't care.
No, he's stone-faced. Did not care.
And what is the JSDF for those of us listening at home?
Japanese Special Defense Force.
Yes, very
They're
important.
the ones that wrecked everybody's crap in Evangelion, if you remember.
What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I guess you're right.
At the end, they went in.
And I think you mean self-defense force, not special.
I like special.
No, they are Japanese self-defense force.
Isn't...
Because it's not an army. It says they can't have one.
Yeah, you can't have a navy, and you cannot have aircraft carriers.
No armies.
Aircraft carriers are explicitly forbidden, except ships that helicopters might land on. That's not an aircraft carrier. Just saying.
Yeah, no, very...
Because they may have several of those.
Very different. They don't have an army. It says so in their constitution. They may have people with weapons and ways to get them from there to there, but it can't be an army because their constitution says they can't have one.
They also have Gundams, which don't count as soldiers.
That is true. Self-defense force. Very important.
Oreki is starting to weird out a little bit. He's like, no, I know one time he stopped and he walked to the window and stared at the sky as a helicopter flew over. Yeah. Maybe it was post-traumatic stress.
Very
Maybe
wistfully.
it was flashbacks.
Very
But I know he turned and looked at the room and said, I like helicopters. And when he tells this story, I'm reminded kind of your friend Ryan in high school.
Oh, yeah?
His stories.
Oh, yeah. Ryan's stories. They were the best. Or our younger brother, who would just look out wistfully and say, I like L-shaped trees.
Yeah, he does, though.
Very, very wistfully.
Ibarra's like, okay, maybe someone there liked helicopters, but I remember the squadron flying over because it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But I know he didn't react to that. Now everything is up in the air.
All higgledy-piggledy.
Oreki's like, okay, maybe it's 3 years ago and my memory's just hazy.
I mean, it could be. But he does remember that it was near the start of the year that he liked helicopters. And then everybody starts to remember.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one time. Because it was at the very beginning of the year, so it was weird because, early on in the school, all of a sudden your brand new teacher's like, helicopters.
So good.
I like them so much. Yeah, that would stick out in someone's mind.
I think so. Well, Satoshi remembers the thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, actually, I mean, even if you're right, that's a really boring story. Let me tell you a better story.
Way better story.
One time, he said he was immortal.
Yeah. Ogi Sensei did.
And Oreki's like, don't make crap up.
It's like, no.
He's like, no. For reals. He told me he was hit by lightning 3 times.
Yeah, he was hit by lightning
3.
and Sanda.
So this fact blows Chitanda's mind. She's like, he was hit by lightning? Real lightning?
Sanda.
And thunder too?
Sanda.
It's amazing he survived.
No, he was struck 3 times. Chitanda. Sanda.
I get it. That's probably the best one we've had so far.
Sanda. Really good gag. For those of us who do not actually know Japanese, san is 3, so sanda is saying like 3 specific times.
It's also how they pronounce thunder.
It's also how they pronounce thunder. So it's a real good pun, actually.
It's like a throwaway pun. Good job.
It's like time paradox. Yeah.
So yeah, this is actually a nice exchange because
she doesn't understand.
Well, there is that, but Oreki notes something here because Satoshi's like, okay, he was hit by lightning.
Yeah.
And Chitanda's like, wow, it's amazing he survived.
Yeah.
He's like, and it hit him like thunder. And she's like, really? Thunder too? It's amazing he survived.
Yeah.
And Oreki mentions that Chitanda is finally learning to deal with Satoshi's BS.
Hold on. Stop the episode. Do you know what's in the background of this scene, leaned up against the windowsill?
Is it Cactus?
No, not Cactus. He's on the table. He's a central member of the group.
I see a sign.
You see it? It's called Continuity.
Wildfire.
They have they have the plaque. They won.
What's it say on the side?
They won the cooking competition.
Huh?
There's some kanji there. I see the
cooking club.
Cooking club. And there's something else down there in red, but I don't know what it is.
Winter, I think it says in
Probably.
English. I do like how they have Furigana above Wildfire.
Oh.
That's funny.
In case you don't know what it says after they said it like a million times.
That's right. So yeah, they go on to explain that Ogi-san was never actually hit directly by lightning. He was only knocked down and burned a couple times.
Yeah, it struck nearby. which is enough to mess you up. Something horrid, turns out.
Yeah. And Oreki's like, huh, I never saw any scars.
That's weird. He does start playing with his hair, which
hair pulling
we
time.
all know is the best worst thing that happens in this show.
Is getting hit by lightning 3 times, is that even possible?
I don't know, but then he starts thinking about mushrooms.
Yeah, we cut to a bunch of mushrooms getting the ever-living crap zapped out of them and growing to monstrous proportions.
Yeah, buddy. So basically, Oreki sits here and thinks about everything, has a bit more of a flashback, and then all the cogs in his mind fall apart as he figures something out. Because, like, here's the deal. They gotta make the show visually interesting somehow, so why not have, like, one of these weird cutaways to mushrooms and cogs? So that's what they do. Either way, all the cogs finally fall as he figures out something, and he's like, okay, all right, we're done here. We're done with club. Satoshi. The public library has old copies of newspapers, right? Right. So, yeah. So I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go to the library. To this. The entire room explodes.
Everything is ruined. Satoshi about has a heart attack.
Oh,
for real.
Golly. Like, who is the skin stealer?
Oreki wants to
go, like,
something?
Do something?
And then he says the worst thing he could possibly say. He's like, no, I'm just a little bit curious.
And it is, we are done. Satoshi straight up speedwagons over the room.
When he said that word, confetti should be dropping from the ceilings, trumpets should blare, we hit up the slap bass, have audience laughter, roll credits, Hyouka's over, we're done, peace out.
Oreki was curious.
He's gone completely to the other side.
He's gone bonkers.
Did an alien control your mind? Or did Chitanda infect you with something? Oh my. That sounds a bit naughty.
Yeah, it does. So Satoshi just like walks over, starts shaking him, slapping him in the face. It's like, what is wrong with you? But worse yet is like Ibara, who's like, okay, dude, Oreki, here's what we need you to do. You're just gonna, I'm gonna help you. We're gonna take you by the hospital. We're gonna get you some nice pills. We're gonna wrap you up in a nice warm fuzzy blanket. And you're just gonna go lie down and sleep for a while. It'll be okay. This too shall pass.
Oreki's like, well, excuse me.
Excuse me, princess. I just wanted to, like,
that's strange for me to want to do something. Dude, you've kind of pigeonholed yourself here.
He does. He really is a teenager, isn't he?
Although, on the flip side, this kind of thing is why it's really hard for introverted people like Oreki to change their ways. Because the moment they do, everyone jumps all over them, and that's like the last thing they want.
Well, to be fair, he sticks with it. He's just like, dude, I want to do it.
He's like, I need to go read a newspaper. I don't see what's weird about that.
Leave me alone. But Chitanda definitely can't. She's like, you're curious? You being curious makes me curious. I'm not curious about what you're curious about. I'm curious as to why you would be curious. She sexy's all up in his face.
Could have piqued your curiosity.
She just advances on him.
Yeah, she's a little too personal here. She's broken all kinds of bubbles.
Space bubbles. Bubble space.
Then we got to outside.
We do. It's date night. Date night, date night, date night, date night, date night.
So Satoshi had to do homework.
Yep. Couldn't come to the library. He bowed out.
To be fair, going back to what you said about Satoshi and Ibara not going off together.
Yeah.
He never actually says where Ibara's gone off to. He just says that Ibara doesn't owe him any favors, so he didn't ask for her library skills.
I do like how he's pretty chill about it. He's like, nobody owes me anything. I don't have any expectations of others.
Ooh, expectations. So yeah, it's just Chitanda and Oreki alone for a mystery no dato.
Yes, mystery dates. Kimi no mystery. You're my mystery,
Here we go.
Oreki. Yes.
We should just have that song playing in the background for the rest of the episode.
Constantly, Kimi no mystery. Well, as Oreki walks outside, you know what's weird about this episode?
What is that?
Oreki does some narration. That's weird.
Oh, yeah, he does.
None of the other episodes do that. Because, like, right before, he, like, narrates where Satoshi and Ibara are, and at the end, we get a little bit of narration, too, and it's a little weird. Not something the show normally does. Either way, as he goes outside to wait for Chitanda, he notices another couple getting ready to go on a little date, a labu-labu dato. The guy rides up on his little bicycle, his little jitensha, and the girl's there with her bag. He puts the bag in the bike. No, they don't ride off together. No. The guy goes off the bike and walks with the bike so he can walk with the girl. It's all very nice, very proper, very cute. And Oreki's about ready to throw up. And here comes Chitanda on her bicycle. He's like,
hey, let's go. I have a bike.
Yeah,
and Oreki's like, actually, you go on ahead.
He's like, nope, I am not ready for this kind of commitment. I'm not ready for together on bikes.
Oh, but it's okay. This bike can hold 2 people.
It can hold 2. To which
and
his
Oreki
brain
starts getting
stops.
Visions.
Well, first off,
he gets
for like a
thoughts.
solid 5 seconds, he just straight deadpans. Nope.
Well, his brain's processing some things that probably they can't show us.
Yeah, and then it processes some things
we get 2
can
visions
show us.
of his daydreams. One version is visions of happy rainbows with Chitanda pedaling and a sad Oreki on the
sitting
back
on
of her
the
bike, looking
thing with some
very
butterflies on strings. Everything in the background's all paper cut out.
It's very strange though that he is sitting on this bicycle riding side saddle.
I mean, that's pretty much what
looking
you have to do.
Really sad. I mean, you say that, but then we switch to him thinking about, okay, well, maybe Oreki will pedal and she'll sit on the back.
Well,
she doesn't sit side saddle.
Well, yeah, she does.
Does she?
Yeah, because you're supposed to ride side saddle. It's like the law there.
Oh, I see. It's because her knees are actually pointed towards him, unlike Oreki's sad
when
face.
2 people sit on a bicycle, you're supposed to do that.
Yeah, Oreki just, when he's on the bike, he looks like he's waiting for a bus.
Yeah.
Whereas Chitanda's like, yeah, this is a good place to be.
when Oreki's pedaling, though, he looks kind of distraught.
Well, he's just like, well, I guess this is my life.
I guess
now.
this is happening.
She has fun and I drive. That's how it goes. But he does get roses carried by doves.
Yeah.
On sticks.
Yeah.
And a cherub carrying a giant rose.
Yeah. By the sea.
And look, there's a sea behind them.
Yeah.
So this is as close as the ship as you're going to get.
Ooh, toot toot. You're right. It's a ship.
But the daydream evaporates. And Oreki's like, no, really. Just go on ahead. And actually, if you get there before me, search for Ogi Masakio. Spelled small tree, true and pure, blah, blah, blah. Off you go.
Yeah, off you go.
And she does.
Nice save,
And before we get to the break, Oreki stares at her as she rides away.
Yeah.
Those muscles pumping.
Oh, my.
Those swaying side from side.
Yeah, buddy.
He's all over that.
No,
well, he could have been if he'd actually gotten on that bike.
Nope. He's not ready for that kind of commitment. You have no idea.
He wasn't ready for lap Tanda back in the day.
Oh, golly. Or maid Tanda. Or cheer Tanda.
He's in high school. He should be better than this at girls.
Well, when we come back from our commercial break, the thinking music is playing, and that's never good.
Oreki stops walking and stares at a hawk or something, flying against the backdrop of mountains, like a scene from American Beauty. He does not take out a camera and start recording it. No. Bag in the wind.
But he remembers something his sister said, because everything boils down to his sister. The mountains near their town, Kamikakuuchi Range, is tall enough to do that thing where it messes with all your weather.
Yeah, it blocks storms and stuff.
Yeah. So, that starts good old Oreki's mind a-moving. Which is never good. He finally shows up at the good old Toshokan, the library. And first off, this library set is super good.
They have...
I don't know where they have this...
a pretty small town, but this library is enormous.
Yeah, real big. But also just the animation budget to, make this complicated of a set for a one-off episode, that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess they did just have talking heads for the whole episode.
A lot of other money in this episode.
Yeah, by not having anybody do anything.
You are correct. Very correct.
I mean, they only have to animate 2 people out of the usual 4, so,
True.
It saves you money.
Chitanda has some news. She found a clipping about the Kamikakuuchi trail restoration work that was being done during the time that he would have been teaching Oreki in middle school.
Turns out good old Ogi was a mountain climber. Captain of the climbing club there in town.
And he was quoted in this article about picking up trash on the trail as saying, recent popularity of this trail has led many new people who don't know the rules to come out here.
And trash it.
All the rules.
They're all miserable and they should all
Please
die.
learn the rules.
Oh, no.
Holy crap, there are rules. Don't get dead. You'll be dead if you don't be careful.
Yeah, they'll be careful.
If you can't be careful,
don't name it after me.
Don't fall off a mountain.
Don't fall off a mountain.
So Oreki's like, I knew it.
Yeah, I thought so, he thinks. Hopefully, no bummers. But it's gonna bummer.
Guess what? It's bummers.
We're gonna bummers.
They go and they search more archives.
Here's the deal, okay? Oreki is some sort of super genius. I mean, we've known this for a while now. But let's think about this logically. So what does Oreki do? 5 minutes ago, he was like, I remember a teacher who liked helicopters. Oh, isn't that weird? I wonder what about that. Cut to about 30 minutes real time later, he's at the library, can pin down a date of a newspaper article he's looking for and identify the one that he probably wants.
Yeah.
Just by knowing his teacher liked helicopters.
I mean, this is the same guy that during the first arc just thought about like one little phrase.
Yeah.
And worked out an entire political movement.
Yeah. He's Banoo-News. Not only that, so he goes up to the receptionist and is like, okay, I need newspaper articles from April or May 3 years ago. And let's see, the keyword will probably be something like stranded. That brings up 12 articles, which he briefly glances through and he's like, oh, yep, that one. That's Banoo-News.
What's more Banoo-News is Chitanda looks at the same list and has figured out which one.
Yeah.
Because Oreki notices that it's there, but Chitanda actually asks the receptionist for it. So she's figured it out.
Yeah.
So what tragedies will we discover? What sadness will leave Chitanda in tears that only one man who can lend her shoulder to cry on?
Or sleeves.
What events will lead to Oreki carrying a blubbering Chitanda home?
If only.
And then letting one thing lead to another.
Oh my.
To share in this emotional and intimate moment.
And have the kisses.
It's bummers.
Yeah, it's
They're
bummers. It's always
Yeah,
bummers. The
first.
show's all bummers. But before bummers, we find out that it's going to take them 30 minutes to pull all of it from the archives. So in the meantime, they go look at books.
Time out.
Yeah.
Why does it take a half an hour to go find this thing? I can't figure this out because it's clearly a well-maintained and very organized establishment.
Well, yeah, but it's
Everything's
newspaper
clean.
archives.
It's
They don't keep
newspaper
those on the
archives.
shelves. Those are in the stacks.
They are in the stacks, but when they pull it out, eventually, it's in a big old folio.
Yeah.
So unless it was like in a box under other boxes that needed to be moved with a forklift, like 10 minutes tops.
Nah.
Right?
You don't know.
Right? I think the show just needed to have some date time.
Yeah, probably. Well, you know, there's that, what is it? It's by the guys who do,
Brady Haran?
Yeah, Brady Haran. He does the one with the National Archive. And you have to fill out the little card, and it takes a while. So, you know, and that thing's super well maintained. So, you know, 30 minutes seems reasonable. Go find something in the
enough for a
stacks.
date.
Find
You know
something
what time
in
it
the
is?
stacks. Date time?
It's Dato no
They're
Jikan.
They're gonna go look at some books.
Some weird books. Some very odd books. First of all, Oreki pulls out a book called Taira no Kiyomori, who is the son of a Shirakawa princess.
Sure, that's what it says. Basically, I boiled down this whole scene to Oreki finds a magazine or book or something on a theory of ancient court genealogy, while Chitanda finds a book on vegetables.
Well, it's interesting because she actually recognizes what in the world his weird esoteric magazine is about.
Well, she would. She's upper class. She probably knows her family history going back like 100 generations and know how she's actually related to the emperor somehow.
That's very possible. But yeah, she finds a book about vegetables called Vegetable School.
Vegetables.
It's an eggplant lover's special interest literature.
Why? I do like how...
Which she says, look at the cabbages!
Look at the cabbages! Got my kimchi out of the cabbages. Let's have cabbage, kimchi, cabbages.
Like, what a
this
weirdo.
scene really gets you like the interests of the two, right? Because Oreki flips through a thing that's like, you know, some sort of cool esoteric mystery, and Chitanda, who's the daughter of a farmer, is like vegetables.
This does remind her, by the way, we have a lot of mushrooms. Would you like some mushrooms? Have some mushrooms.
This is a pointless scene. Would you like some mushrooms?
No, what's more pointless and weird is Oreki gets very flustered by being asked if he'd like to have some of her mushrooms.
Well, you know, mushrooms. They got that connotation.
I guess. Do they?
They do.
Just shiitake mushrooms.
Mushrooms do, yeah. Mushrooms
You know
and
what?
peaches,
Looky,
man.
insect books.
Yeah, look, dung beetles. Aren't they cute?
No,
Chitanda.
that's funny because she passes a book about honeybees and goes straight for the dung beetles. And she's like, Kawaii-desu!
They're so
You're
cute.
so cute.
They roll stuff around. It's poop.
Why is she so weird?
She's just odd. She's an odd duck.
She asks Oreki, is there anything you'd like to see? To which the proper response would have been, yes, your cabbages.
Oh my.
But he didn't.
Yeah, well.
Instead, he finds a big book on castles.
Hold on. It's not just vegetable school. It's exciting vegetable school.
Ooh.
Now, I like gardening.
That's better than normal vegetable school.
Gardening is interesting. Vegetables are interesting. But I would never quite call them exciting.
Oh, you don't know. They're extreme vegetables.
Okay, so now I'm imagining that she's turned those cabbages, and she's like, oh, look at how cool these cabbages are. And they're cabbages in, like, sunglasses, like, doing sweet kickflips on a skateboard. They're extreme
Seems like
vegetables.
something we got in pamphlets back in grade school.
Exciting cabbages. Yeah.
It's like the California raisins.
Oh, yeah. See,
they turn into coleslaw.
Yeah.
He finds a book on castles, and she gets very excited. She's like, ooh, those are big. Those are big castles. He's like, your house is big.
He's like, really?
It's like, nuh-uh. It's only a little bigger than normal.
Chitanda is the 1%. Down with the 1%. She needs to pay her fair share of rice.
While she's talking, the camera cuts to a overhead shot of her house, which is the size of a city block or bigger.
Yeah. You know the house in Summer Wars? It's like that.
It's so big. Yeah. There are rice paddies inside her house walls.
Yeah, she's got house walls. She's got a big
and
place.
A pond.
She's 1%.
And a forest.
She's the 1%.
And another forest.
1%. 1% Chitanda.
It's not that big. It's only slightly. It's only just a detached house.
Ooh, Ichitanda.
She's the 1%. Actually, you could do Ichitinda.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Ichitinda. Either way, evening sets in, and it's time for bummers.
So they get the big old folio that has all the newspapers in it, and they go a-searching.
Yep, for May 9th.
The day Ogi said he liked helicopters.
He liked the helis. Why that day was because they found the article, and the article's entitled, Kamiyama Mountaineering Team, 2 members stranded. Well, that doesn't sound like fun and happiness.
Could that be?
Well, it turns out that Oreki has figured out that it's not that Ogi liked helicopters.
He didn't like helicopters.
Did not particularly care for helicopters.
Twist!
So we're gonna lay out some facts.
So Oreki sits down to propose, to explain the mystery.
Don't joke about stuff like that. Just wait till the last episode.
Well, he sat down and she's standing up, and that was my first thought.
It's like, will you marry me over these helicopters? You're the only one who understands the helicopters, Chitanda. What's Kekekeke over the helicopters?
He's not wrong if he said that. He identifies as a attack helicopter.
I mean, you do.
Turns out, so does she. Yeah. It's match made in heaven.
Match made in the air.
So yeah, Oreki breaks it down.
Yes, he's like, okay, first, Ogi was struck by lightning. That's weird.
That is really weird. That's
English
odd.
Teachers are not struck by lightning. That's weird.
Not generally.
So,
and not 3 times.
Yeah, definitely not 3 times. She's like, he must have frequented somewhere that had lots of lightning strikes. Like our tall, stormy mountains right over there. Yeah.
Whoa.
So that's how I knew he was probably a climber. Also, why did Ogi want to see a helicopter on that day? Well, he was probably super anxious about it. He probably wanted to see a helicopter that day. That's why he was looking out for it and got so excited when he saw one. Why? Because context is everything, darn it.
Always.
English teachers don't care about helicopters, which is a broad overgeneralization, and I think he should just be ashamed and check his privilege. Gross generalization. Some English teachers really like helicopters. You don't know.
But he thinks that maybe in this case...
Yeah, mountain climbers would probably care a lot more about helicopters than your average English teacher.
That's true. What if they were the same person?
Yeah.
Then that could only mean a couple things. Maybe he was hoping that it would fly out for, like, supplies, or maybe they're going to go film something, but if neither of those things...
It's probably a rescue team.
Yeah.
That's why a mountain climber would want to see a helicopter.
On May 8th...
It rained.
It rained a lot, and nothing could fly.
Nope. But May the 9th.
If the mountains are sunny,
yeah,
helicopters can fly.
Yep. and survival chances of people who might get stranded on the mountains goes up.
Not by much, turns out.
Yeah, no. So basically, from the fact that his teacher saw a helicopter, he's figured out that one day there was a tragedy on the mountain slope. Narrowed it down to the day.
He's pretty bright, pretty sharp. That
he is Banunus.
And then we get one of those voiceovers again.
Yeah, it's real weird.
We don't get Chitanda's reaction to this, because normally we would get Chitanda's reaction.
I think her reaction to this is bummers.
We got bummers back in the first arc, because that was the whole thing.
Well, yeah.
Why did Chitanda cry that one time?
Yeah, and then she cries again, because bummers.
And then she cries again. But here, nothing. We cut to outside, and it's over.
Mm-hmm.
The moment has passed.
Yep.
Oreki's sort of odd.
Narration states that they followed the story through the newspapers, and they found that there were in fact 2 people stranded on the mountain. They were found by police helicopters, but they were dead.
Like, damn, son, that's too much for one Chitanda.
No bummers.
Which is probably why they cut away.
It's supposed to be a cute show.
A sobbing mess on the floor. He was trying to console her. She pulled him down under the table. The library locked up, locking them in.
And then she ate a eggplant.
And then he stole some panties, and then they tried to light themselves on fire.
Oh, yeah. No, I know how that turns out. Yeah. I know that one.
So yeah, Chitanda and Oreki walk back together this time.
Yep.
Because they've bonded over this mutual interest in the death of humanity. And Chitanda's like, can I ask you a question? Why were you curious about all that? Because I wasn't even curious in all that.
Yeah.
And Ricky's like, is that weird?
It's weird.
He's like, yes, actually, that's really weird. That's coming from Eggplant Girl.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like dung beetles and eggplants. You're a weirdo.
But you, Oreki, are a weirdo.
Ricky's like, yeah, okay, you're right. Normally, I don't have to do something, then I won't do it.
I like how Chitanda's like, wait, huh? What? No, dude, you do stuff for people all the time. That's not weird at all. He's like,
but my motto. Aside my eternal motto.
But my motto. She's like, no, dude, you help people all the time. You're always helping me. What's weird is you did something for yourself. You do stuff for others, but you never do stuff on your own accord.
So why now? And then a symbolism flies by.
Yep.
Or, I mean, a helicopter flies by.
A helicopter.
And Oreki thinks to himself, and then out loud, when Satoshi mentioned the lightning thing, I had a bad feeling, and I wanted to know if my theory was true. So, I went to the library, checked it out. If it had taken longer,
wouldn't have done it. But flipping through some old newspapers isn't too much. We did it.
Plus, you were helpful.
Yes.
That was nice.
Thank you. Pat.
And I needed to be careful if it was actually true.
Yeah.
Which it was.
Because look at what theme we're back to. Reading others' intentions. And knowing them. Oreki's like, okay, dude, if I just spout off that somebody like Ogi likes helicopters without thinking about it too long, that's hecka insensitive to somebody who is just like, oh, my friends could have just died. I'm so glad somebody's trying to rescue them. But instead, he could have been like, whoa, helicopters are fun. I like helicopters. So does he.
So basically, he's opening up here and saying, even though I might not have talked to this guy in forever, I'm not just going to throw something out in case I've misrepresented his opinion, because that'd be disingenuous, and I might tarnish his feelings and his emotions. And Chitanda just gets a massive lady boner right here.
Oh my. She doesn't know how to deal with it. All the feels.
Speechless.
Like, you're the most sensitive.
And then Oreki's like, okay, well, maybe not insensitive, but, not knowing how someone feels. Even though I'll probably never meet him again, so it's not like I need to know.
But, I shouldn't know. And, well... Chitanda's like,
feelings
I know what I feel.
Swelling.
I feel like maybe it's the kisses? Kisses, please?
And she calls out to him, Oreki, that's very...
It's very something. Very, I want the kisses. I want to make what with the kisses? Can we have the smooches?
You wanna go back to the eggplant in my place?
And have a smooch with me and the eggplant? The smooches? We could hold hands, maybe? Hand
Oreki's not going to have any of that, unfortunately.
No. Oreki's going to wuss out.
Yeah, he's like, whatever.
Okay.
I'm going to go.
You go that way. I'm going to go this way.
It's funny, because he just spent this whole thing talking about how he wants to understand someone else's feelings and act accordingly.
Yeah, and he has no idea how Chitanda's feelings are, ever.
Not a clue.
He doesn't even know his feelings half the time. Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, just wait till
Good job. Figured it out. I'm good. I'm going home. But Chitanda says before she leaves, because she's like, I tried. I'm glad I could at least see a different side of you today.
Yeah. Well, Chitanda didn't have to do any of that, so maybe I owe her a favor now. And by a favor, I mean kisses.
Some kisses.
Maybe I owe her some kisses.
Mm-hmm. Really, he should be locking that down.
What, the kisses?
Because we just discussed how big her house is.
Yeah.
How weird she is.
Yeah.
How she is super interested in why he's interested in stuff.
Yep. And maybe what with the
kisses? Clearly, he needs to make with the kisses.
The kisses.
And lock all that down.
She needs to put a ring. He needs to put a ring on it. That's all there's to it.
Or cactus.
Or put a ring on cactus.
I don't know if he'd like that.
What,
cactus? I think he swings that way.
Cactus.
He definitely identifies as an attack helicopter. Who? Or Hayabusa-chan.
Hayabusa-kun.
That's what he identifies as.
He's not a fast Hayabusa.
Because he's not very fast.
He's not fast Hayabusa-kun.
So next time on Hyouka is the legendary episode.
Why did
the one we've all been waiting for?
Why did it kick it into the office?
I hope it is everything you have made it out to be.
Oh my, is it? If you want a stupid mystery, you're in for it. If you want to see this man, this Oreki, go from a kid got called to the office to a wild conjecture that may turn out to be true.
I'm okay with that. Does it have anything to do with aliens and or rocket fuel?
No.
I don't know. That's just a wild conjecture. Maybe he was right.
Might have to do with espers and aliens and time travelers.
Oh, I hope not. Because then we're just going to repeat the same episode like 8 times.
Over and over and over again.
I don't want it. So what was your best in this episode?
Oh, is there a best? It's all bummers. It's just bummers. I think it's everybody being you are shock.
That was pretty good.
I am shock. Yeah, no, that's pretty
And I like how they were all shocked in different ways.
Oh, yeah.
Like Satoshi just being shocked.
Satoshi's mind melts. Ibarra's like worried. Chitanda's just slightly confused, but knows something's wrong.
Yeah, I don't really care about your stupid mystery that you're talking about. I'm more curious about why you have a mystery at all.
Yeah, dude, like, why do you care about stuff? That's not your thing. Your thing isn't caring about stuff. That's my thing.
My best was the dato.
Oh, well, yeah.
They had a very small dato.
What with the dates?
And probably the best part was her saying, ooh, insect books, and the camera panning over the honeybees, over to the dung beetles.
They're cute.
Obviously. I hadn't considered how cute they were till today.
Very.
But now I see the error of my ways.
Yeah, you should. Very cute.
What was your worst?
Worst? Bummers. Why do we keep with the bummers? Next episode, there's no bummers.
Good. I don't want any more bummers. There have been too many bummers in this show.
We're done with bummers. No more bummers.
So my worst was this mystery sucks.
Why does it suck?
I mean, it's okay as sort of character development, but to be honest, it's more fan servicey than anything else.
It's not necessarily fan servicey. It's because it's shit baiting.
I'll put it to you this way. It is shit baiting. Yeah. Definitely shit baiting. But I realize this when you're talking about how interesting it was when he got to the library. He's already nailed it down.
Yeah.
Back at the first arc and in subsequent arcs, when he got to that point where he had a 95%, I'm pretty sure this is what happened, rating, he's like, yep, I'm good. So I figured. And then he'd leave.
Yeah, well, he had to figure this one. He wanted to make sure on this one. Because you have to realize, like, before this episode, really in the first arc, too, his MO is usually like, I just have to come up with something that's going to satisfy Chitanda. I don't really care if it's necessarily true. So he rarely, like, double checks his thing on purpose. It kind of falls into his lap. But in this one, he, like, takes the initiative to go, find out whether he was true or not. Which is a little odd for him. Normally, he just sort of lets it lie.
I mean, there is that. But, I mean, the mystery itself, it kind of harkens back to why did the teacher get mad?
Yeah, well, that episode's not
pretty
that great.
much the same level.
It's
on the same level. So, I mean, if they hadn't actually gone out to the library and had the dato and gotten closer together, then I don't think it would have served any other purpose.
Yeah, I mean, you're true on that. It mostly throws in a mystery, so we have a mystery, because that's what the show does. But it's definitely a sort of just a ship bait episode. Hey, it's a better mystery than the pool episode.
Definitely a better mystery than the pool episode, which even I figured out. Who's your MVP?
Ogi?
Really?
For being a cool dude?
He is a cool dude.
I
didn't have any third-grade teachers
on the
that mountained.
He was real worried. What I like is you got the foreshadowing that he would really care about rescue helicopters, because he's like, the mountain's dangerous. You gotta follow the rules so you don't get hurt. Please don't get hurt on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he hears that people are lost, he's like, man, I sure hope they get rescued. He's so invested in like not wanting people to get hurt that I know it's a small gesture to like get up, walk across the room and watch the rescue helicopter go, but he cares enough to do that, right?
Yeah.
When really he should be pushing for policy changes around the mountain rather than just
and throughout the country,
hoping that helicopters find people.
You should get on Tumblr and really make a difference.
It's true.
So my MVP was Chitanda for being a bro.
Why was Chitanda a bro?
Why was she a bro? Because she didn't have to go with Oreki.
Yes, she did.
She didn't. She just wanted to. And she helped out.
She just wanted to. Yeah, right. She wanted to make what with the kisses.
Ulterior motives, whatever.
Her ulterior motives were making what with the kisses.
Yeah, but she didn't get to make what with the kisses.
I know.
So she just gets to be a bro. Because he's keeping her in the bro zone.
Oh, he's the bro zone.
Yeah. Guess what? My wife has started watching
Escaflowne, because it's real good.
You are correct.
It is real good.
It hasn't aged very well. I've realized.
I watched it not too long ago. It's good.
Well, the animation's great, and the music's great, and the overall plot is good. But man, those characterizations are super 90s.
You mean not the characterizations, the character design?
Well, I mean the Dewsbury character design is very distinctive.
Yeah,
yes.
It is.
But I meant like certain main female characters act like certain other main female characters from the 90s.
Yeah, it's pretty tropey.
Look at all these men. Look at how all they fall for me. I want none of this, but I want all of this.
Yeah.
What do I do?
She wants the mole man. I think I love you, but what am I so afraid of?
I'm looking forward to getting to show her Nescaflowne at the end.
Oh, it's so good. It is the best anime parody ever made. There are so many other like goofs, but this is like an hour-long parody of the whole series. It's one of those, it's like a Mel Brooks. Because you can tell the people who made it really like Escaflowne, and they just knew how to rip it to shreds in the best way.
I don't know.
I think
good. Overall, the best parody is still Redeath.
Redeath is good.
It's pretty short and to the point.
Yeah, but it's not.
Nescaflowne's a little long, but yeah, you're right.
It's not like a parody is the thing.
It's satire.
Yeah, like that's satire. It's like Fanboy Bebop. Both of those are satire. This is a straight up like parody of one show, and it does it super great.
Yeah, it's second on my list of all-time favorite fan jokes.
I hear that TSR, the Slayers redub, is really good if you've played D&D, but I've not seen it.
I didn't know that was a thing till just now.
It's by the same guys, the Slayers redub.
Is that a thing that I can acquire?
Probably not, because it's hard to find. Because those guys are like, please don't sue us. But it's called TSR, the Slayers redub. That's what the TSR stands for, because that's the joke, is it's D&D, right? So it's got to be the...
I'll have to look for that later. But yeah, she is... I think we just got 3 episodes into it.
If she's 3 episodes into it, that means she's 1 Fox Kids episode into it.
I never saw the Fox Kids ones. I will say
golly.
Is it like the movie? Is it about like that?
What do you mean? No. The Fox Kids one, is when people were just bringing over anime and they saw like the first couple episodes and they're like, oh yeah, we can do this. And then they get halfway through where Delandau squishes a doppelganger in his claw and is like, well, maybe we should just stop. So they just stop. Like, yeah, maybe this wasn't such a good show to bring over for kids.
I mean, we originally saw it when you had your VHS tapes back in like 98 or something. Those were dubbed, right?
No, they were subbed.
Or were they subbed?
Yeah, they were subbed. The new dub that's coming out that they kickstart is the first real dub of the whole show.
That's odd, because I remember Delandau's voice being a lot lower than it is. Maybe that's just retrospectively me filling in blanks.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Nesca.
Maybe that's it, but
no,
I can't spoil that one.
Delandau's rather feminine.
But I just wasn't really prepared because I haven't watched since '98. So
oh wow, it's still real good.
I don't remember.
Those mech designs,
I remember
man.
the general overview of everything.
Those mech designs are great.
One thing I'm hoping to find out again as we're rewatching it is why exactly is Escaflowne so special in regards to all the other ones?
Well, you know, it's the best.
Because I don't remember that ever being explained.
Well, there's a couple reasons.
Because, I mean, it's a guy elf like everything else. It's just really old.
Well, it's not necessarily, it is a MacGuffin, but not like the Gundam. And especially not like the Gundams in Gundam Wing. It's not like impossible to beat or anything. It's just...
Oh, no, I'm not wondering that. It's just that the show is called Escaflowne.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's just
all the songs repeat Escaflowne over and over and over.
Yeah,
it's sealed away in a stone. And then when it finally pops out...
It's like...
yeah, it looks like all the other ones, except it's white.
Yeah, it's kind of like Excalibur. It's not really... Well...
But yeah,
or the Sword and the Stone.
Since I haven't seen this in almost 20 years.
Or the Sword and the Stone. Like, it's not like some super mega powerful thing. It's just, you know, it's a sign of heraldry.
The Emperor was talking about how, something about Atlantis. I'm like, Atlantis? I don't remember that part of the show.
Oh, golly.
So, I remember a lot of the show, as in Fate. Blah.
Yeah, Fate, blah, that kind of thing.
I don't remember the Atlantis part. So,
you watched Space Patrol Luluco?
I've watched some of it.
Yeah.
I watched the first arc, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they were 7-minute episodes.
Oh, I didn't know they were a super micro one either. Oh, that means I should watch it. If it's just going to take
they're pretty short. They're not super
show.
micro. They're not like 3 minutes, but they're 7 minutes long.
Yeah. Sweet.
But it is super trigger time.
Yeah, that's what much better everything I've seen is like, wow, this is like experimental trigger on steroids. I like it when they get real
totally
experimental.
good at that. Like, Kisnaver sort of went off the deep end.
Well, one of the cool things about Trigger is not only do they like to experiment with anime, but they also know the American animation traditions. Like, when they were responsible for Panty and Stocking, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Well, they were still Gynex then, but yes, it was the same team.
Yeah. They know how American animation works, and they like to blend the two. They like to borrow from the American animation tradition, especially from the 90s and whatnot. And that's what Luluco really reminds me of. It's another one of their blending of Eastern and Western sort of tropes, which means it gets real weird.
Yeah, I just like the fact that it seems to lampshade itself, and they're really good at doing that without being too. They're not meta in the same way that all the other shows with all the really long titles are meta. Because those are meta about like a very specific otaku culture.
Yeah.
But
where this is meta because
Trigger seems to be like meta over their entire genre.
Yeah, how just animation works.
Like, anime is just silly, right, guys?
They did bonkers.
Look what we can do with it. Let's turn her into a gun.
Now she is.
Because why not? Now she is the gun. Plus, Space Cop is awesome.
That's what I have heard.
He's the flaming skull dude.
Yeah.
Because he's from space. So he's Space Cop, obviously. Oh, what else? I saw the end of Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
They changed some stuff. I'm not gonna go into detail about it, but I will say that what they didn't change the outcome, but they changed the overall theme of it.
Oh, well, that seems worse.
It is worse, I feel, because I mean, Saturn showed up. I know she wasn't supposed to be in it for very long, but she showed up for maybe 8 minutes total between the two episodes. And in the manga and in the original show, and I might be blending them together, but you know, she has to go fight Pharaoh 90. Sailor Moon really wants to save her, but she's like, Saturn points her stick at her and says, no, you can't. You have your own responsibilities. And sometimes you can't save everybody. I have to do this. And then she goes off and fights. And then she wins, obviously, but yet loses. And Sailor Moon comes back to the rest of them carrying a baby Hotaru.
Yeah.
With a very somber look on her face, like very shell-shocked. Whereas this ending in Crystal, Saturn calls out to Pluto to shut the time doors because apparently that fixes things now.
Sure.
So why didn't they do that to start? And then she pulls Pharaoh 90 in through the time door and follows him. Although at this point there's no real reason for her to because now he's on the other side. Who knows? Closes the time door. She's trapped on the other side. No way to come back, but yet baby Hotaru comes back anyway. And they're like, oh good, a baby, yay, everything's great. And then the rest of the episode isn't being teenagers fun?
Isn't it?
It's just, it killed the entire theme. The theme is Sailor Moon has been getting her way. I mean, she has her own bummers, but she gets her way through friendship and whatnot. But in the Infinity arc, she learns that some battles you can win and yet still lose. And it's a sobering thing. That's why it's the best arc of all of them, because it sort of doesn't really deconstruct magical girl shows because it's clearly the archetype, but she has a bummer. She needs this bummer to grow, and they cut it out of Crystal. There's nothing there. She lost nothing.
No bummers. They heard the important hashtag, no bummers.
They did. And so Saturn herself was used effectively. I really liked all the scenes that she was in, but her appearance was wasted on the plot and was wasted on all the other characters. That's my take on it. It could have gone better. It could
always go
but
better.
The 8 minutes of Saturn was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, you had important feels.
Well, I get very... Sailor Moon was one of the first animes I ever watched.
No, I know.
Very invested in it. It would be like if they came out with a brand new Escaflowne, like they were just going to redo the whole thing, reanimate it, revoice it. I mean, you'd probably have some opinions.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd watch it.
And you may have some opinions how it compared to the original source material.
Yeah. Of course, Eska's in a weird spot because it doesn't really have an original source material. There's a whole hodgepodge. It was originally concepted in a large group, and then it splintered quickly into a manga, movie, and TV show, none of which are really related to each other other than the same concept is used in all of them. The themes are even different in all of them, really.
Is that why the movie is so messed up?
Everything's messed up. If you read the manga, it's completely different, too. It's all...
I never read the manga, but I watched the movie, and it was so disappointing.
Well, the movie's good in that it's really well animated. There's some great action in it, but it's completely different. But yeah, it was made by a big multimedia conglomerate, sort of as a concept first. The anime is the closest thing you can get to the actual source material, but sort of splintered away. It's not even like FLCL or something where they have a manga and a show and they're two very different, but that's still made by like the same guys. They just interpreted it two different ways. Or this is like three very different stories told in three different media. It's odd.
Well, you got a lot of that back in the 90s.
Yeah. It's just
like Magic Knight's Rayearth got the same treatment pretty much.
Yeah. Well, except, Clamp's animation studio did the show and Clamp did the manga. Yeah,
eventually they did the show, but I'm talking about the manga versus the OVAs.
Oh, yeah.
The show didn't come out for a couple years after that.
Yeah, it really
when they realized,
weird.
Oh, the OVAs are something people will buy, so maybe we should animate it for reals.
Yeah, it's weird. It's all weird.
Although I always preferred the OVAs over the other two.
Yeah, well, don't say that too loud.
Well, I like the idea, which is why I like Infinity Arc so much, of the magical girl having to have bummers, but growing out of it. I mean, it's why people like Madoka so much.
Well, people like Madoka because it's like it's a deconstruction, and also people like girls.
It is, but I mean, on the surface, it's still got the magical girl has terrible things happen because not everything is sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, and then you watch Smile Precure, and then you're like, ooh, Smile Precure.
Yeah.
Pooty QA. Speaking of opinions, maybe instead of rambling on about Escaflowne and Sailor Moon, we talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the one where they fight an entire brain. But not for the entire episode.
No, not for the entire episode.
They fight an entire brain, but not for the entire episode. I have to say that of all the episodes of JoJo we've watched so far, this one's not great.
Well, it's because it's so disjointed.
It is, and not much really happens. It's fan service. Fan service happens.
A lot of unnecessary fan service happens.
Unnecessary fan service happen. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get to that as it comes up.
Yeah.
So
No, I know.
JoJo episode 18.
Yeah.
As you remember, JoJo just got done beating up AC/DC and has completely destroyed him. All of him is gone.
Except his entire brain. The one part that we know you have to kill.
Yeah.
The one part
and instead, the whole brain is making JoJo's shoulders feel heavy because it's attached itself to his back.
Yeah, not taking him over, which seems like a severe oversight that we will see here shortly.
This brain, if we're fair, isn't very bright.
It is not a bright
makes
brain.
Some serious blunders.
It does. It makes some tactical errors. It is not a bright brain.
So yeah, the brain is strapped to
it can't
back.
take him over. The same reason the pillar guys can't eat them because Hammond. Yeah, that's right. They ham him.
I guess
that's right. That's fair.
Well, the brain is on his back regardless, making nasty squishy noises, which JoJo should be able to hear, I think. Unless he's too big, he can't hear it over the sound of his awesome.
Yeah, he can't hear it over the sound of how awesome he is. That is 100% accurate.
Yep. So we immediately go to the op and to this episode's titles. Von Stroheim's Revenge.
Which we don't even get to like the end of the episode, and even then it's a bit of a... That's a big spoiler.
We don't get a revenge.
This episode's not great. It's
poorly put together.
It gets us from point A to point B.
Yeah.
That's about all it does.
Yeah.
Like, my notes for this are probably some of the shortest notes I've taken all season on everything. I almost feel like just going through my notes without even talking about the episode.
It's possible. So, yeah, we start out with Lisa, who's looking out over the ocean and saying, "It's dawn."
And it is.
Good job.
You've done it.
We're off to a good start.
We're off to a brilliant start.
But then Suzy Q, who we actually get to see more of this episode, who's cute.
She is cute.
Shows up and asks, "Which blouse would you like to wear today?"
Dresses. Do you want dress A or dress B?
The white one or the fun one?
And if you thought that a scene about Suzy Q picking out a dress couldn't be longer than 5 minutes, you would be wrong. Because, like, I swear, for 5 minutes, it's just Suzy Q being like, "I like the white one, but I like the colorful one, but I like the white one, but I like the colorful
one." It went on
one
for so long that
but I like
actually
the
got
white one.
Invested in the argument because I'm like, okay.
I like the white one, but the colorful one.
I hear you.
But I do like the white one.
Lisa does not care.
She does not.
But since this went on for so long, I thought to myself, you totally should care. Because that fun one, the colorful one, the one you're having so much trouble.
Makes you look like pizzazz because it's got crazy.
It's hideous.
It's not good.
It's awful.
Not great, no.
You're a Hammond user and a beautiful woman.
You don't.
Why would you put on something that makes you look like you're a 40-year-old man
zebra
walking down Las Vegas looking for a little something at midnight?
Yeah, come on. It's bad. Bad dress. Bad dress. This is a 90s dress. Ugh. Ugh.
So while they're still debating the blouse thing, because that goes on forever.
Yeah.
Lisa asks Suzy Q, "When the boys get back, please send them to my room."
Ooh. She's going to teach him a lesson. She says this while she disrobes, because this is a fan service episode, even if you wouldn't think it would, since it started off with a brain on someone's back. She starts to disrobe, and she is not wearing any undergarments, which seem real weird, but she's Italian.
Well,
I guess Europeans are strange, so...
I was going to say, they are European. In the Mediterranean, and people do that all the time.
Yeah, the Europeans are odd.
All the time. They're going to have a bath time.
She
or at least Lisa's going to have a bath time. She's got a bath
just in the middle of the room. It's not steaming, by the way, so it's cold, but it got bubbles. That's nice. We do get a shot of Lisa's.
And we get some shots of her house, and it is enormous.
It's a nice house.
It is a very, very nice house.
It's Chitanda size. She's got large tracts of land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big cabbages. Very, very large cabbages.
Nice cabbages. Exciting cabbages.
So Suzy Q has put her master in the bath and is walking downstairs. Yeah. And Jojo steps out of the shadows to ask her a favor. And rightly, she screams.
She screams.
Stranger danger.
Stranger danger about Jojo. Joseph Joestar. Not because of a brain on his back. No one notices the brain on her back. No, just because Jojo was like, "Hey girl, how you living?" She's like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I never saw you without your mask. There, I've saved you 10 minutes of scene." Golly.
You really did. Now, okay,
Shoot
so
fire.
this is the first point
Yeah.
in this episode that I realized that I think multiple animation teams worked on this episode without anyone talking to each other.
You're probably not wrong.
Because in this particular scene, they're shown as a close-up with Jojo facing towards the camera.
Yeah.
And Suzy Q is slightly behind him, looking at him over his shoulder.
Yeah, I see this.
And from that angle, if she were to say, glance down,
you would see.
she would see
I
a
thought
brain
that too.
and something
I did write that down in your
probably
note.
worth screaming about.
Yeah, because a second later, he karidans right next to her, which is the noise for when a boyfriend dawns right next to you with his hand and whatnot, karidan.
Yeah, because we don't get that transition because the camera switches to a wider shot and now they're face to face.
Yeah, now they've karidaned.
It's like,
It's like
okay.
He-Man. It's like He-Man, how everybody faces the camera to monologue and then turns to the side.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's like a He-Man thing. It's fine.
I think it's kind of like JoJo Space where they were in that canyon, but it wasn't a canyon.
Sure,
it was some mountains,
sure.
but it wasn't.
Sure. Well, either way,
actually a castle the whole time.
after scaring the patoots out of Suzy Q, he starts macking on her because that's what Joseph Joestar does. He's like, see my sexy lips? I got sexy lips outside my mask. Do you like my sexy lips? And she's like, no, they're weird. And he's like, well, you'll want to kiss them eventually. And she's like, no. By the way, you got a tentacle on your back? That seems bad. Oh, wait, nope, never mind. It's gone. We don't care.
Yeah. Oh, there's a tentacle. I know things that Heyman users have had to deal with, which probably involve tentacles. But
we'll not worry about it.
It was probably nothing. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Not a creeping cosmic dread or a pillar man or an entire brain or anything.
No, that'd be weird.
But
she does say, go see Lisa, but wait a little bit because she's in the bath.
She's in the
right
bath.
now.
First off, don't tell the lecherous Joseph Joestar a lady's in a bath upstairs, especially when about, 30 days ago, he was about like, you know what? I'm going to do all sorts of naughty things to her because out of revenge, I'm going to pinch her nose.
Torture, man. Yeah. Torture.
Well,
he's like, good. I was going to go anyway. Because found out that the Pillarmen knew all about the stone.
And that seems bad. They know about Asia, the band, so we're going to...
Probably need to tell somebody about that. And then we find out the brain is gone.
Brain's gone. But
where did it go?
But right before we find out the brain's gone, Miss Suzy Q is like, oh, by the way, Jojo, you're actually kind of hot. And he's like, shut up, baby, I know it. Either way, we get another little face thing that first off, he's got slime on his back because the brain's gone. But also, it's going to be 6 days until that dumb ring dissolves. Isn't that nice? Yep.
And Krang is on the loose.
Krang is on the loose. Good. I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to say we got Krang. Got a Krang alert.
We have a lot of problems.
This whole thing would be solved if they had a robot with a microwave in its tummy. Well, Joseph Joestar goes upstairs to go wait for Lisa to get out of the bath. He looks out the window and sees Suzy Q delivering a package to a mail boat. Not a boat that is mail, but a boat that delivers mail.
Yeah. There you go. And he's like, nah.
Well, that seems boring. Instead, I'm going to go perv out over Lisa and look through the keyhole because that's what I do.
I like his reasoning behind this.
Because he's the worst?
Well, he is the worst, but he has some technical reasoning.
He does.
She never said where to wait, so I think right in front of this keyhole is a great place to wait.
It is. I like how he tells the camera this. It's not an inner monologue. It is an outer monologue. He knows there's cameras on, and he is ready. He's like, yeah, this is a cool idea. For me, Joseph Joestar.
So yeah, we see him looking in there, and Lisa is sitting on the edge of the tub, doing whatever ladies do when they sit on the edge of tubs.
Combing her hair.
During the bath. I have no idea.
I do like how he goes, nice!
Nice! Yeah!
Yeah! Score!
And then he's like, hey, Suzy Q's with her.
Well, that's weird. She was just downstairs.
Wait a minute.
And we get zero payoff for this.
Yep.
Because you're like, okay, well, then maybe the Pillar Man assumed her form or made a clone.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Maybe, I mean, spoilers for about 5 seconds from now, but she's been brained up.
Brainwashed?
No, she's got Eldrazi on the brain.
Because it's a bath with a brain?
Yeah, well, no. Suzy Q has gotten brain drazied all up in. So, that happens. So, I don't know, maybe she used her weird newfound Pillar Man strength to jump up there real fast or climb the building or something.
Be. I think Lisa would have noticed that, though, because the only way into that room is either through the door or jump up from the balcony.
Or through the door, through the keyhole.
That's true.
Pillarmen have been known to do that. Though I don't know how well that would work with a human body. Oh, well.
I don't think it would.
No. Let's not worry about it too much. This is Joseph's Bizarre Adventure, and look, Lisa's butt.
Yeah, well, when we cut back to inside her room, Lisa is back in the tub.
No, she's not. She's still on the edge, but she switched which side of her hair is going.
Well, she switches from sitting on the edge of the tub to in the tub very quickly.
Hold on, let me see.
Yes.
I'm gonna... Oh, there's slime on the door.
From one scene to the next.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
And now she's in the tub.
Slimer, yeah. Slimer.
Also,
you're right. She did. She got back in. Oh, she's putting up her hair, I guess. Okay, well, there you go.
Her eyes change consistently throughout this episode.
Who, Lisa's or Suzy Q?
Lisa's eyes.
Huh.
They go from smaller and more aggressive, like she has been this whole time.
Yeah.
To while a certain fight is proceeding, they get very big and very moe.
Huh.
And they sort of stay that way until the fight is over.
Probably. That sounds like something appropriately weird that Japan would do.
Yeah. So Lisa asks Suzy Q if the boys have returned.
Yeah, and instead she draws these out. Her eyes go wide.
Well, Lisa realizes
covered in crying.
Wait a crap. Where's the stone?
The stone! Give him the stone!
So here's another thing.
Yeah.
Because this episode is just full of things.
Yeah, she had to pop up, grab the stone, pop down, pop back up. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so, okay, look.
Yeah, okay.
AC/DC,
yeah,
whose brain is currently controlling Suzy Q.
Yeah. I've called it ACQC for this episode.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Putting aside how he got the stone.
Yeah.
He put it in the box and he mailed it off.
He did.
Now, the audience saw that. Yeah. I know I saw it and was like, oh, Suzy Q's doing her morning chores.
Yeah, if her morning chores are mailing the Red Stone of Asia to the Pillarmen, you would be right.
Well, I didn't know it was in the box. I was just like, oh. Well, I mean, Jojo's just macking on her from the balcony. Yeah. He obviously doesn't think anything's amiss. No one thinks anything is amiss.
Yeah, that's true.
No one would have questioned anything.
Oh, yeah, unless he brought it up like he does just now.
Unless he jumped up, attacked them, and was like, you're not going to get that package.
Yeah. Seemed like a tactical error. I mean, he was just, like, murderated 5 minutes ago. So, give him some credit.
But he is now all brain.
Is he?
He's nothing but brain.
Is he?
He should be able to figure this stuff out. And veins, I guess. He's very vain.
You're never going to get ahead in this pun business.
I know. Lisa, though, cries out, oh no, something's gotten inside Suzy Q.
Yeah.
That's why she's contorting and spraying liquid all over.
Yeah, she does that. She'll draws these out. Bleh.
So Jojo jumps in the room.
Yeah, he does. He jumps in to help out. Oh no! He doesn't get a patented oh no, but kind of. Something.
And AC/DC's like, okay.
Here's my plan. I'm going to distract you while my package gets delivered.
That's right. I challenge you to one-on-one fight.
I did write that down. He literally says, you've reduced me to nothing but a brain.
All he had to do was destroy the whole brain. He got everything but the brain.
Yeah, everything but the brain. One thing.
Jojo.
What you doing, boy?
But he does point out that Suzy Q is still mostly alive, but you're going to have to kill her to kill him.
Yeah, that's what he says while he sort of convulses and squishes around and does weird stuff, and then her eyes go all derpy.
So at this point, Lisa has gotten out of the tub and is holding a towel in front of her to cover the necessities.
I hope that that's how you want to see her for 90% of this episode. You're gonna get.
She does not move from that position.
She's a Hammond master. She could probably just be like, I don't care if I'm naked. I'm going to murderate you and just murderate him.
Hammond master could kill everyone in that room right now if she wanted.
Yeah.
But you know what's more important than that?
Keeping her...
Modesty.
Yeah, modesty. Yeah. Except for her butt, I guess. Whatever.
I guess.
Anyway, here comes Caesar to save the day.
Well, he shows up just in time, but he cannot bear the sight of his bear sensei.
No, he cannot.
And he flips out on Jojo. As if Jojo could have done anything with Lisa without her consent.
Yeah, well, whatever.
It's like, if he had tried something, I'm pretty sure he'd be dead.
Pretty murdered. Either way, ACQC decides to play Caesar and is like, yeah, Jojo is so mean, and he was gonna kill me and stuff. And then she decides just to drop the act and instead jump kick Caesar in the face.
That's how most women, I think, want to
deal with Caesar.
Caesar.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what we do.
Which is odd because now their roles have sort of reversed.
Yeah.
Because Jojo's the one macking on the ladies.
Yeah, but is he a
and
ladies'
Caesar's all
man?
Like, oh.
He thinks he's a ladies' man. He's just macking on the ladies. He's not actually good at it. Caesar, at least, like, you know, he charms the ladies. You'll be lucky if you get out of a conversation with Jojo without him calling you a busu.
Yeah, Lisa says we have to go get the stone before it's all lost and everything is ruined. And ACQC has none of that and stomps on Zeppeli's face and then says, "You'll have to kill me first, you wiener heads."
Really? I don't know what he says. I wonder what he says in the thing. I don't know. Come on. I don't know.
Why does he say wiener heads?
I don't know. Use your hammer and kill me is what my translation says. It'd be easy to destroy me in a current state.
It's right before he leaps into the doorway and blocks it with his spiderweb blood vessels.
Yeah, I saw that. And then he goes into a really lewd position here.
He does.
Doesn't he?
I thought he was going to, like, taunt them in another way than he does.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Thankfully, he did not.
We're just going to be lewd.
Guy isn't nice to ladies.
No. Bad guys are not nice to ladies. Well, Jojo tries to do one of his patented Joe bluffs and decides to be like, "Hey, I don't care about no ladies. I'm just going to straight up murder punch you." He's like, "I'm going to do it. I'm going to murder punch. I'm murder punching. Here comes the murder whiff," and he doesn't. ACQC calls the bluff.
Which ACQC says, "Just as planned," and then does something I've never actually heard in real life.
Kekekeke. Yeah, right before the commercial break. Kekekeke.
I've never actually heard that.
Yeah, well, there you go.
In a show.
If you want Kekekeke and Rees and every other Japanese sound effect actually spoken aloud, JoJo Bizarre's Adventure is the place for you to hear it.
Well, good. I'm glad I'm getting the full Japanese experience.
You are. You're gonna do it.
So we come back.
Yeah.
And the stone has arrived on the mainland. But who cares about that?
We care about ACQC, who is threatening to turn Suzy Q into a hot blood lava bomb, which I'm pretty sure is either a spa treatment or a new type of fetish we've just made up.
Could be. I mean, it sounds like a pretty good attack.
Yeah, it sounds better than Space Ripper Stingy Eyes.
So does he actually say lava bomb or
no? He says something different. He says like he's going to explode with blood as hot as magma. But hot blood lava bomb sounds way better, doesn't it?
It does.
Because he starts tearing at his own face and spurting blood all over and doing general gross stuff. Because that's what the Buildermen do. They do gross stuff.
So Lisa's like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Dumb.
Jojo, fine, just go kill use your ham and just do it.
You go murder.
This is terrible. And Jojo's like, no, don't make me do it. I still have nightmares about chopping off Stroheim's leg.
They debate over how they're going to kill this girl and who has to do it. Like it's some chore. Like nobody wants to like sweep the deck. So they're going to be like, fine. Well, I did it last time. I chopped off a man's leg last time. How'd you do it? No. Jojo instead decides to come up with a Joe plan.
We're going to do what we did on the pillar, which is get covered in oil.
Yep. And wrestle her to the ground.
And then we're going to use 2 types of Hammond.
Yeah, they're going to double negative Hammond breathing on it, which is another attack name I've made up because they weren't, I guess they weren't thinking about it because that's a good name for an attack.
Not really.
Double negative Hammond breathing? Sounds about right.
Well, they didn't think about it.
No, they didn't. So, Caesar and JoJo DHACQC. Now, that's dual Hammond for those of you following at home. Sorry, this episode is lewd. There's no 2 ways about it.
So, yeah, JoJo goes after her head and feet. And Zeppeli goes right for her old Kokoro.
Yeah, so JoJo uses positive Hammond energy, I guess, to murderate her, while Caesar uses negative. You think these would be backwards, but they're not. Caesar uses negatively charged Hammond to make sure she doesn't get murderated. And
the point is they cancel out right at her heart.
Yes.
So everything but her heart explodes. Sort of.
It makes the entire brain pop out.
Right. Yeah. Which it does. So the brain pops out and lands on JoJo.
Yeah, I'm back at JoJo, and here's where you think it's gonna like take him over or something, but no. JoJo's like, no need to even punch it, as he just turns around and lets the morning sun dissolve the entire brain.
Because if you remember,
it's Dawn.
Hooray!
It's Buffy's sister, and she comes in and murders this entire brain.
And Zeppeli says, good riddance to bad rubbish.
JoJo's like, no, I understand our villain's heart. He threw away even his pride for the sake of his allies. And even if he was the baddest of all bad dudes, that's respectable in my book.
He may have been evil, but he was a good evil.
Yeah, he's a noble evil, braining it up inside poor Suzy Q. But he did it for his allies.
Jojo. You're weird.
Yeah, well, it's time to use a lesser-known Hammond technique called Hammond interrogation. Hammond boarding is a way for a now very well-dressed Lisa to interrogate good old Suzy Q for memories of a foreign brain.
Because while the brain was in her, she was still kind of aware of things and may know where the stone is going.
It's St. Moritz, Switzerland.
And there the episode concludes.
Nope. We've got another half of the episode where nothing really happens.
But that's where all the action stops.
Yeah, well, you're right about that. But instead, we have a whole bunch of other episodes to get through and not do anything in. Yeah. I mean, we can just go over my notes real fast because they give you about all that matters.
Well, no, there's some good stuff in here.
Tell me to just speed through. I can do it.
No, so the exciting part of this scene is that the train is left already.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What do?
We're gonna all pile in our Mini Cooper and drive to Switzerland from Venice.
Yeah.
So,
but Lisa points out that some of us may break the law during this rescue of the stone, and some of us may die.
Yep. We have to know exactly who's in this car. It is Lisa, Joseph Joestar, Caesar Zappelli, and it's not Loggins. It's Messina. I wonder who may die.
I wonder. Considering you just couldn't think of his name.
It's the red shirt. I think he's even wearing a red shirt.
He's wearing a red hat at least.
Yeah, he's wearing a red hat.
So, as they're driving away, poor Suzy Q turns around and walks towards the screen. Now, when she was getting interrogated by Lisa with the ham and stuff, there were spots all over her, and I thought to myself, "Oh, this may just be sweat or whatnot." But when she turns around here, obviously they're pop mark scars from where all the veins popped out of her.
Yeah,
and she's
super gross.
Yeah, she was super cute before, but now she's covered in scars. But she's soldiering on. Good for her. Yeah. She's a strong woman,
strong female character.
And then Jojo calls out to her and says, "Hey, baby, I'm coming back for you later sometime, so heal those ugly wounds before I get back."
Yeah, he's not that much of a ladies' man, but she thinks this is super cute, I guess, because Jojo's going to be back so they can soups date.
She blushes and turns all mushy, and I'm like, okay, well, if she thinks that's great, then truly they are made for each other.
Because he is the master of
negs.
No
apologizing for that one.
Yeah, he is negging up a storm, and she's like, dude, those negs are sweet. Maybe she just has an appreciation for people who are good at playing the game.
He doesn't even have a big hat.
He does. He's got a big hat. He even has a fedora on, I think.
Does he here?
An actual fedora, yeah. Not a trilby, which everybody calls a fedora, but an actual fedora. Yeah, I think she's wearing one. He's wearing one.
I'll take that back.
Yeah, he's totally playing the game.
Meanwhile
at the PB base, we see Von Helsing.
He's all dressed in black leather with a big black hat.
Yeah.
And he's waiting by a payphone as a stray dog approaches him.
Yeah, this whole scene's pointless. Ugh.
Well, it shows you that he likes dogs.
Does he? Or does he just not like people?
Because a car, driven by a drunk man, approaches Cars and the dog, and Cars cuts the car.
Oh, you missed it, because I was going to say it turns out it's Von Karsing this whole time, and now you've ruined it.
Sorry.
Yeah, ruined the goof. You goof ruiner.
And we cut to inside the car, and they're like, oh no, my hands are not attached anymore. And then the car explodes.
Yeah.
And the dog looks on with perverse delight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Cars is like, that AC/DC still hasn't called. Ugh.
I do say it makes a pretty good screen cap, though. I have to admit, there's a real good screen cap opportunity in here, where the guy's just drinking wine out of a bottle, looking at this guy with his arms half cut off, and it's pretty sweet. That's a pretty good shot, honestly. I like how his arms, A, aren't bleeding, and B, are basically cut hams.
They are.
There's also just one bone in there. This guy's got some problems, turns out.
Yeah, that's how that works, right? Oreki is really good at the outside physical physique, but when it comes to below the skin, he has no idea what's going on.
No. Well, that was it for that scene. We see that Car
Meanwhile,
Von Karsing, doesn't matter. Meanwhile, a gang is waiting at customs on the Switzerland-Italy border, and Nazis are there. Yay for Nazis.
They're the worst.
Yeah,
always
well,
holding stuff up.
The Nazis board the train, find the Stone of Asia, and they're like, all right, guys, we're Nazis. We're going to take this stone because we were spying on you, and we're going to work together because we're Nazis, and we want to make a mask with the Stone of Asia so we can take over Europe because we're Nazis. And hey, at least we're not as evil as the Pillar Boys, so why don't you come work for us? There, that was like 10 minutes.
Well, you did leave out probably the most important part of that scene, which is a close-up of the Lisa family crest.
Oh, that's true. That seems important, except it's not.
It is. Her name is below it.
Yeah, well,
Lisa,
woohoo.
and it has little hearts on it.
Well, isn't that cute?
It is cute. Also, the Nazis invite the gang over to their winter cottage for a sleepover.
And one of them's a robot. At least they make whirring sounds.
But yeah, the narrator tells us that Germany would really like to have a cool mask and a stone thing because they're really bad at physics and can't nuke stuff.
Yeah.
So, and they haven't learned any lessons yet.
No. Oh, well.
5 hours later.
5 hours later, Cars has found the cabin. I was like, oh, look, there's a bunch of guys in here. I can tell them because of their body heat. I'm going to use my dumb blade trick to cut off all their heads. And he does.
And they're all dead.
Oh, there we go.
But he says that he's going to only kill 4.
Yeah.
So he goes inside, and there's a dude there that stands up.
He's like,
Cars is like,
dude, I missed one.
I'm pretty sure there are only 4 in here.
That's weird.
Why are you still here? He's like, because I'm a Terminator.
Yeah.
Stroheim.
It's Von Roboheim. And then we get roundabout.
To be continued.
Yeah.
So, where was the revenge?
You know, next episode.
Did I miss the revenge?
The revenge is next episode. Next episode, which is entitled Not Stroheim's Revenge.
Ugh.
Race Towards the Brink is next episode, where this episode spoils the ending of the episode by saying Von Stroheim is in it. So when you see a robot that looks suspiciously like Von Stroheim, you're like, oh, I bet that's Von Stroheim. I can't wait till he gets his revenge. And then he doesn't. And the episode's not great. This is not a great episode of JoJo.
No. But what was your best? What was the best you could make out of this episode?
I mean, I do like Von Roboheim, but we see him way cooler next episode. I
do like at the very end when his hat comes off and we see what kind of man machine he has become. I like that because it looks like something out of Street Fighter or something. But yeah, my best is also Robo Nazis.
Yeah, Von Roboheim.
What's your worst?
Worst, like everything else, man.
Yeah, I think it's either that the animation was all over the place, but I think I'd have to go with the worst being the whole thing where Lisa is a strong, independent woman. But damn if she's not going to drop that towel to help her best friend.
Yeah, well, yeah. Don't worry about it.
Who's your MVP?
MVP? I don't know. Suzy Q toughs it out.
She does. She makes the best of it.
She makes the best of a bad situation.
I would say I was going to give the MVP to Jojo for not actually hitting a girl. But then I'm taking that right back for telling a girl that probably has post-traumatic stress disorder that her scars are ugly.
You're ugly. Get better so we can make out, girl. Jojo, you're bad.
Jojo.
You're bad.
Jojo.
Joseph.
Come on.
Joseph, what would your dad think? What would your grandpa think? He would be aghast. Aghast. What would Dio think? Well, he would think it's pretty cool. Oh, wait. No, he hates it when people are lewd, too. He would turn you into a dog, cat, bird thing.
And then shove you down a woman's throat.
And then shove you down a woman's throat for being disrespectful to the woman. Jojo, why you let me down?
True facts.
Let me down. Yeah, well, what do you do? Can't win them all. Oh, there's a point here where Cars is like, I can't sense Von Roboheim's body heat.
Because he's a robot.
Because he's a robot.
But next time, robot fight. Hopefully. Yeah. Super. No. Hopefully it gets better.
Can't win them all. Can't win them all.
Ups and downs.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. If you have comments or questions about Hyouka, JoJo, or just want our inane take on anything anime related, you can get in touch with us on Facebook or Twitter at Aniki Podcast. Also, make sure to check out the show notes for bonus content and links to stuff we talked about this time. So, thanks for listening, and see you next time on Aniki.